Hello and welcome to the 8-Bit Pop Culture Show. I'm Hecla Peterson, and today I have a very special guest. He is my number one artist on Spotify so far this year after dropping his solo EP, Splinter, which has amassed over 1 million listens on Spotify alone, and recently dropped a new single, Spider Legs. Back from his US tour, welcome to the show, Wes Parker.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I gotta know, how was tour life?
Oh my gosh, it's funny since we've been back, the band and I don't think we've talked about it once because it's just so dense. Every moment is like, I really think that time moves in a totally different way. Like days feel like weeks, and we were out there for 3 weeks. So tour was great, but it is a lot of work and there's so many places that you go and so many people you meet that time moves slowly. It's nice to be back. I feel like I've returned to the Shire. Being in Richmond, it feels very good.
Yeah, so Richmond is such an awesome music scene. How does it compare to the rest of the world that you've seen?
It's a special place, and I have talked about that with some friends since I've been back. It feels like you're going to go on tour and see all these places that are they really are wonderful places. All the places we went, I mean, they truly were wonderful new environments, especially the places I've never been. And but returning home, the perspective that we gain on tour is incredible. I do think Richmond, it just reminds me how special this place is. Coming back after being in so many different places, it is uncomparable, Richmond. I mean, it's the best.
How did you get your start in Richmond?
I played in a band called Camp Howard for a long time. That was a band we started. I mean, it really started you could go all the way back to middle school, high school. Is when I met two guys that I played with in Camp Howard. And we just started playing in Richmond, like little shows, anything we could get. And we would take any gig we could get, which is not something that I can really do anymore because there's like radius clauses and that kind of thing where, you can't play super often or like venues won't allow that. But back then we were so small, we would just take every gig and no one cared. And we played little bars and open mics. I mean, that's where it really started, was open mics. We would do open mics and I was scared every time I'd get up there.
Now, how did that translate to your solo work? Did you know you would do solo while you were in the band?
I had kind of dreams of doing solo stuff, and I know Nick, my like musical partner, as it were, also had similar thoughts at a certain point. I think I had thought about it sooner, which I felt kind of maybe caused some tension at the time because there was no reason to do that. I don't know. I just loved the idea of being free and not adhering to the band's, themes or styles. But it was Nick that went solo first, and he's doing really well. And his project's called Nico Play. I highly recommend anybody check it out. It's really, really good. But yeah, I had always kind of dreamed of being creatively liberated in that way.
Do you tour with the same people that you recorded with?
I do. And actually, my drummer, Brian Larson, is somebody, he played drums in Camp Howard, and we met in middle school.
Yeah.
So Brian and Chandler, someone I met in the improv theater, are my band. We're just a 3-piece, and we record in the studio. I typically like do home demos first of everything by myself, like drums, bass, guitar, piano, whatever, and I send them a demo, and then we get together and work it out with them on the instruments, and then we take that to the studio, and they also tour.
So that's sweet.
Yeah, it's great.
So this album, I think, is super grounded, but it hits a lot of different emotions. Like sometimes it makes me boogie, and sometimes it makes me feel angst, or like some of them like have really deep metaphors going on. Is this a vulnerable album to tour with, or does it? By the end of it, are you still like maybe not phased as much?
Yeah, it definitely can be. It's not like a disco album or something where people can really just like dance the whole time and it's lighthearted. Not that disco is all lighthearted. I just mean that, yeah, there are times where I'm on stage and I am singing about my life. And when you're writing the songs, it's a vulnerable moment as it is just in your room when you're writing them. When you're taking them on tour, it does change the relationship to the songs a little bit. I think just naturally being on stage in front of people and presenting a piece of art can add a lot of different factors to, the way you're presenting it. But there's a lot of times where I return right back to the original emotions, and it can feel vulnerable. I can feel like I'm kind of like gutting myself in front of people.
Yeah. Shoosh. Well, I know for people who haven't seen the album, I gave a little piece of what it feels like when I listen to it. How would you describe it in, say, 3 words?
The album?
Yeah.
It's raw. Gosh, this is hard.
I know.
Raw, honest, and I mean, it's, I don't know, unprofessional or something. Unpolished, maybe. I don't know. We did it in a studio, but it does feel like I'm not the most trained musician. I mean, the guys in my band are much more trained than I. So sometimes when I hear the songs, or when people talk to me about like the album, like it's like this like musical, like I don't know. It to me it's just it's pretty simple. I don't know. It's not a good way to describe it. But it's hard for me to describe it.
That's super fair. I can't imagine putting just 3 words to also such a complex album. Anyways, I would like to say I first found you not through music, but through TikTok. You have a very unique experience with social media. You have over 200,000 followers on TikTok and over 10 million likes, largely from comedy skits rather than music, though the music has been bumping. How much do you think this has impacted your music and your journey? I feel like it's a pretty new concept to be doing both.
I do think it has really, it's impacted the music a lot, and honestly my life a lot. At times it can feel like kind of embarrassing at times around the right people. We got somebody called us a TikTok band on this tour, which was, it just felt so cheapening because the thing is it's just a new day and age for marketing. And originally the comedy stuff was not from a marketing place or trying to get viral for any reason. It was Camp Howard, my old band, breaking up. And I had always liked comedy and I never liked TikTok. But I was kind of down and out, and I used TikTok as like this throwaway, like almost like therapy, to make comedy about the music scene. And it made me feel better when I was without a music project at the time. And it blew up, and I think it was hard to switch into music, back into music after having gained a lot of following for comedy stuff and character work. But there's tons of crossover, and the fact that it was made about the music scene, I think, was super helpful. It's easy to go straight into music, in a way. Yeah,
I definitely found you through the music skits. They're hilarious, still are hilarious. And I notice a lot of them feel, one, very local to the Richmond scene, and two, I see like punk influence and some hardcore influence. Are those outlets you enjoy, or does it just happen to be what you're surrounded with?
They are outlets I enjoy. I'm not the most punk looking person or anything like that. And I think sometimes when people meet me after seeing some of my skits, which are, I play a punk character, I think people assume that I'm going to be super punk, or punk looking or acting or whatever that is. I don't know. How do you define that? But sometimes I worry I let people down in that way. But I love the punk scene. I love punk music. I think it goes right along with like the DIY scene of just it. What I love about punk is that it feels like it's, freeing creatively. Like you're allowed to be who you want to be and like express what you want to express. And it doesn't have to be, quiet or like clean. I don't know. I just love that aspect. It feels free. It feels free. So I love the punk scene. It's greatly impacted me, especially when I was younger.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think, for everyone watching, if you're in the Richmond area and you haven't visited the punk scene, the hardcore scene in some way, I very much recommend it because I feel like they kind of lift up the rest of our music scene here. But last but not least, I want to know what your favorite thing about what you do is.
I think that I really like writing, and like that could be comedy or that could be music. That's the most magical moment for me in all of the music or comedy is the moment that I'm writing something, at home or out. You know, I might be in the bathroom at a bar or like driving home from the grocery store or something, and like I don't just mean writing sitting at a desk. I mean like being in a time frame where I'm open to ideas, and like I feel kind of like that right now after coming off this tour. I think for some reason being on tour is like really inspiring in terms of writing. I just couldn't wait to get home and write.
Yeah.
I like that space. That's what making art, I guess, is all about for me, is like the writing of it and the creation of, you know, even some of the TikTok stuff or like Instagram stuff promoting the music, like some of the stuff you're seeing on screen, like that stuff can be really fun. Whereas I think a lot of people, you know, resist that, and it seems like just awful. Like, I don't want to promote my art. I don't want to like get online and lip sync to my songs and whatever. But I kind of like it because it's just an extension of the song itself. And I guess I just kind of like making videos, which the music videos, I might as well throw that in there because it is really, really fun. And I'm always sad when the music videos wrap for this project. I've had so much fun making every video we've made for this. And we're making another one this fall. I'm so excited. I just love that. I love acting and being on camera in a character way.
Is it for a song that we know, or is it a song coming up?
It is for a song coming up.
Ooh,
Yes.
very exciting.
It's coming up. I'm very excited as
I
well.
wish I'd brought up your music videos earlier, because that's how I found out you were a local artist. I had assumed you were some influencer on TikTok, to be honest. You could be in LA or wherever. But a buddy of mine, Joseph Puccio, had worked on your music video, and I was flabbergasted by how beautiful those are. Everyone should definitely check them out. There have been some clips of them throughout this interview, but they are really something.
Thanks. Yeah, the music videos are just like, honestly, like one of my favorite parts of doing this and being on set. It's just, it's magical. It's really fun. I want to be an actor too, but music is something you can control schedule wise. Acting, it's like, how often can you get an acting job? There's few and far between. So, but yeah.
Yeah, well, sweet. Everyone, go check out those music videos and Wes Parker on Spotify. What other socials do you have that people can come find?
I think I really just do Instagram and TikTok. Instagram is like my main one where I can connect with people and talk, interact and stuff. So yeah.
Sweet. Then find Wes Parker on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and their music videos on YouTube. Thank you for joining me on the 8-Bit Show.
Yeah, thanks, Hecla.